Hello and welcome to
Wait,
Anchorage. Camera's gone. Or the webcam. OBS is gonna quit. Hello and welcome to Anchorage Bucs baseball. Will Hopkins alongside Vic Maslia as the Anchorage Bucs host the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. These teams will play twice tomorrow in 7 inning games for July 4th. But first things first, today the Pilots come in struggling, being run ruled in each of the last two games, and the Bucs talk a lot about dominating. And with a team struggling like that, this could be just the recipe for success.
yeah, it is the recipe for success for these Bucks who have just been rolling. Great pitching. We've seen good hitting. We've seen really good, clean play from the infield and outfield. We've seen pitchers uh, who, or mainly strikeout guys, getting the ball in the air, getting the ball on the ground, manufacturing outs. We've seen that a lot. We've seen a lot of plays for these infielders and outfielders, and they made just about every single one. We had a couple of sloppy games out in the peninsula. Just one error yesterday. The team looked really good, and I think with the Pilots struggling at the plate and their struggles at the mound at games too, especially these past two games where they've gotten run ruled. The Bucks can really take advantage, and will it could be a short night.
And the last time these two teams played, it was a run rule. The Bucs winning by a score of 13-2. That was back on the 23rd. Since then, the Pilots have gone 4-4, so they've held their own. But those last two games, not their best stuff. Looking at the pitching matchup for today, it'll be Cole Carlone for the Bucs against Tyler Stewart for the Pilots. And interestingly, in all of their starts so far this season, both of them 4 innings in every single one. So for me today, a lot of it's going to be about who can last longer. Can someone go 5, 6 innings?
Well, we've seen Carlone really do well, and the 4 innings at the start were mainly because of pitch count and just because it was early. They didn't want to send guys too far in the game. He has struggled a little bit. He struggled down on the peninsula, had a 3 or 4 spot put up against him in one of the innings, and just wasn't as sharp. So that was the reason why he only went 4 innings there. But he's a guy that has great stuff in his arsenal. He's got an electric fastball. He's got really good command of that breaking ball, and if he puts it all together today, I could at least see him going 5, even 6 innings. Considering that he's only gone four, I really don't think that makes much of a difference. So I think that you're absolutely right. Whatever pitcher can go past 4 innings is most likely going to have a better shot to take home the win.
And for Carlone, like you mentioned, last start not his best. Would like to see him bounce back from that rough appearance down on the peninsula. As for Tyler Stewart, faced this Bucks team
Mm-hmm.
back on opening day. His last appearance was back on the 27th, where he went, of course, 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. And this is a guy, not a ton of strikeouts, but his strikeout to walk ratio is incredible just because he only has 3 walks all season. So the Bucks aren't going to have a lot of bases to take. And for who he'll be facing and Carlone will be facing, we'll go ahead and give the starting lineup.
Sorry about that. Giving you the visiting Glacier Pilots. Dylan Marks will lead it off like usual and will play first base. Luke Hefner will bat in the 2 hole and will play short. The right fielder batting third is Luke Stolga. Jacob Cowles joins the team and he plays in left field, a new addition. In the 5 hole, Junior Barajas is the designated hitter. Troy Sanders will bat sixth and play at second base. Batting seventh and playing at third is Chase Knight. Bo Rico will be behind home plate, catching up Stewart. He is the 8 hole batter. Then Logan Sanders will round out the order in the 9 hole, playing in center field. Once again, that's Marks, Hefner, Stolga, Cows, Barajas, Sanders, Knight, Rico, and Sanders. The other Sanders, we remind you that they are a set of three brothers, and the Hefners are just the two. And as for the hometown Anchorage Bucks, Will Burns will lead it off once again, playing at shortstop. Zane Kelly back in the order after a couple games of rest. He'll play in center. Ryan Callahan will be the first baseman tonight and will be in the 3 hole. Batting cleanup, Tommy Eisenstadt will be the designated hitter. Josh Hankins will bat five and will play in left, or excuse me, at third base. Adam Inyart will play in left field. He'll bat sixth. Cade Lacey is the right fielder, batting seventh. Hitting eighth and behind home plate, catching up Cole Carlone, Brody Briggs, and then rounding out the order, Peyton Knowles playing second base tonight instead of the outfield. A little bit of a different um, change of scenery for him, so we'll see how he handles that. Once again, Burns, Kelly, Callahan, Eisenstadt, Hankins, Inyart, Lacey, Briggs, and Peyton Knowles. We'll take a little bit of a break. We'll come back and we'll be just in time for first pitch. We'll lead you up to that shortly. Welcome back here to Mulcahy Stadium on the hill. Excuse me, is Cole Carlone. As we mentioned earlier, Carlone is also a hitter on this team, and he has just done fantastic at both the hitting and pitching departments. For pitching, this is his fourth appearance, 12 innings pitched, 10 hits, 5 earned runs, sporting a 3.75 ERA, and he's done really well. His last start was a little bit of a hiccup against the Oilers, gave up about 3 or 4 runs, but going back to that last start, did a good job of getting himself out of some bigger jams. And you've seen these pitchers out in the peninsula, and even a couple days ago with Zan Rose not having his best stuff, being able to work around that. I think that Will said it perfectly, that it really shows what type of player you are when you can get yourself out of jams. And because nobody's perfect, every pitcher, whether they're Cy Young or whether they're a pitcher in high school, is going to get into jams and not going to have their same command, and maybe they do have their same command every night, but at a certain point you might run into hitters that are just seeing you really well, and so it really shows how good of these Bucks pitchers they've been, being able to get out of jams and being able to work around that and not relying on a ton of run support, even though the Bucks offense has been fantastic. Going back to Carlone, the battery tonight will be him and Brody Briggs, an Arizona State U battery, and we've seen that a good bit, not just from Carlone, we've seen it from Wyatt Halverson too, who's also an Arizona State Sun Devil. So a Sun Devil battery for at least the fourth or fifth time, has to be even more than that. So the throw goes down to second base. Brody Briggs has a great arm, and he showcased that a couple days ago with the caught stealing. Walking up to the plate is Dylan Marks for the Pilots, and now with the play-by-play, here's Will Hopkins.
Appreciate it, Vic. Dylan Marks leading things off in this Anchorage rivalry. 3 times in 2 days these teams will play. Very excited about tomorrow's doubleheader, but hopefully the Bucs will take care of business tonight first. The lefty's ready and gets us started. That pitch just a bit upstairs. Carlone coming in with 12 innings pitched. Like we said, 4 innings in each of his 3 starts. All 5 of his earned runs coming in that last appearance. Can't find the outside corner that time, and Carlone's done a good job of limiting the walks. Just 4 walks across those 12 innings pitched. Had 6 strikeouts in each of his first 2 appearances, but just 3 the other day. And now, as I compliment him limiting the walks, he falls behind on the first batter, 3-0.
That's all right. Carlone done a good job at battling all season. It's hard to believe that he gave up all 5 runs in that last game. It didn't even seem that bad of an outing.
3-0's way inside, so an inauspicious start to this one for Carlone, a 4-pitch walk. And I was talking to you during breaks and after that last game, just confused because that wasn't the Cole Carlone that we had seen in his first 2 starts. So hopefully that first at bat against Marks is not something that shows how the rest of this start's going to go, as Luke Hefner Jr. steps in. And now Carlone finds the strike zone.
Yeah, and I apologize for saying he only gave up 3 or 4 runs in his last start. It was shocking to me. Now looking back, it's not shocking that he didn't give up any runs in his first couple of appearances, but it's shocking that he had 5 runs given up in that last one as he finds the zone again, and it seems like the command is coming back a little bit.
Definitely. Hefner hitting an even 250 on the season. As a team, Pilots sitting at just 210. Bucs have come back to life, but still lead the league in that department. Over 250 and a strikeout on 3 pitches for Carlone on the second man he faces.
It's a great way to get back.
Great response after that 4-pitch walk, and now maybe just a ground ball away from facing the minimum in this first inning and giving the Bucs bats a chance to start the scoring here. Not sure what's going on with the home plate umpire, saying something to Carlone, it looks like.
Yeah, not sure. You'd love a ground ball here, and even how good the defense has been, we haven't seen that many ground ball double plays, at least notable double plays to get out of innings. I'm not talking about huge double plays that are potentially game savers. I'm just saying the routine ones. Seems like a lot of times Bucks pitchers will result to trying to get these guys out via the strikeout or pop flies. Doesn't seem like they get many ground balls.
A 1 to Stolga, just a bit outside. And for Stolga, it's interesting, hitting just 143 on the season, yet has the second most at-bats of anybody on this Pilots squad.
Yeah, and his strikeouts are up too. He's tied for second on the team with the amount of strikeouts. That one's really close.
Yeah, it looks like Carlone really trying to paint that outside corner's gotten a couple calls on it, and then a couple that have missed by just an inch or two like that last one. So 2-1 the count with Dylan Marks at first base. Marks 5 stolen bases on the year, and this one sprayed foul down the right field line to even the count.
And five guys, 5 Pilots with 15 plus strikeouts. For the Bucs, no one has 15 strikeouts, period. No one has more than 10.
Kind of goes to show why the Bucs are 12-5 and they're 8-13 as the runner goes, but this one's hit out into center field. Zane Kelly playing there today makes the grab, and Dylan Marks going to have to go back to first. A little bit of a reworked outfield, an interesting fielding lineup for the Bucs as a whole. We're seeing Zane Kelly in center, which we've become accustomed to since Hunsaker went down with that hamstring injury, but Peyton Knowles at second base, not something we're used to. Seen Ryan Callahan at first once or twice, and then Cade Lacey getting more and more comfortable over there in right, but still some guys playing positions that they don't have a ton of experience at least this season. And this is a new man for the Pilots, Jacob Coes, number 31, out of Modesto Junior College, a California native. Takes one up and in.
You love to see the Bucs score early here, set the tone for this game. They've done really well when they've scored first. Can only remember that one game out in the peninsula, last game, where they scored 6 runs and couldn't hold the lead. Besides that, done a good job. Looked like the umpire was thinking extra long about that called strike, but it looked like it was in the zone. Maybe a little inside, but Carlone will take it, of course.
Another one of those umpires we might have to wait a while after every pitch to be sure. Coes puts this in play, bounced right in front of home plate over to the left side. Hankins has it and makes the throw across. So Dylan Marks, the leadoff walk, cannot advance from first base. Carlone sets down the next 3 in order. The Bucs head to the plate when we come back. Home half of the first inning, Cole Carlone pitching a scoreless top half. Will Burns, Zane Kelly, and Ryan Callahan, the top 3 in the order, and everybody looking for more success against Tyler Stewart than they had on opening day. Just a couple of hits for these Bucs, one of them coming from Cole Carlone, so he won't be able to help out in that department today as he's on the mound, and Burns fouls off the first one. Burns a strikeout and a flyout back on June 6th against Stewart, and a lot of strikeouts throughout this lineup as that one's fouled back. 6 guys in this lineup plus Carlone face Stewart.
Yeah, but I think it's just so long since that last
100%.
outing, and the Bucs have obviously taken off. Not that you were trying to say that they'd have struggled tonight, but I just don't think that will be the case.
Burns puts this one in play to Luke Hefner. Charges and throws across his body for the first out. And a couple of weeks ago after one of these Bucs Pilots games, was talking to a few of the Bucs, and they're really impressed with Hefner at short. Didn't have a great day at the plate that day, but they were talking about how he hit the ball hard, and then they were just super impressed with how he plays in the field. A lot of good shortstops throughout the ABL.
Soto for the Oilers.
Soto for the Oilers for sure. Will Burns for the Bucs.
Of course, yeah. So solid. Go back to Burns was 1 for 3 in his debut in the leadoff spot 2 days ago, excuse me. Scored 2 runs and also walked. So good job leading off for the Bucs, and usually a spot we've seen Max Ross have, Zane Kelly have a bunch, Hunsaker when he was with us, of course still with us, just battling that injury.
Late strike call on Zane Kelly, who hasn't been in the lineup in a good bit. His last plate appearance coming 4 games ago against the Oilers in the second to last game of that 5-game series. I think there were a couple games where he thought he might pitch, and the game script just didn't play for that, so he was taken out of the lineup, not for hitting purposes, but for pitching purposes, and his first appearance back in the box doesn't go well. Swinging strikeout.
Yeah, and Stewart looks really good. So far, just the first couple of batters made Zane Kelly look silly, and Kelly's not the type of batter who gets fooled too often, so definitely some good stuff from Stewart out there.
In fairness to Kelly, probably just trying to get back used to seeing live pitches. Been about a week, and that pitch behind Ryan Callahan.
Yeah, overcooked whatever pitch he was trying to throw. I can't even tell with how far up it was on the dirt and behind Callahan, so lucky he didn't hit him, though.
The 1-0 to the Bucs' first baseman. We've seen Callahan mostly at third, but this is not his first appearance on the other side of the diamond, and he's just been raking.
He's just hitting so well. I mean, looking at coming into today, Callahan batting a whopping .382, and you could see it just by the way he's swinging the bat, and he looks so good. And so far, 13 hits and 34 at bats. He's just a hit machine. Driven in 6, 3 walks to just 3 strikeouts. Just a very solid hitter when it comes to being an everyday guy in the lineup.
Yeah, 3 strikeouts and 34 at bats. Some good stuff from Callahan, and always talk about how good it is to put the ball in play. 1-2, and Callahan doing a good job of preventing the strikeout, staying alive.
Yeah, and Stewart its fastball is just ahead of these Bucs batters, and they're just a little bit late on it. And good job for Callahan keeping himself alive, but he's got to get that timing on the fastball.
Fouled off once again for Tyler Stewart. 6'1", 195 out of Cameron Park, California. Was a junior at Sacramento State this past season. Pitched nearly 70 innings. 3.75 ERA. 13 of his 14 appearances were starts. And talked about the strikeout to walk ratio in the ABL. Had that at Sac State. 55 strikeouts, 16 walks. Callahan prevents the strikeout, but skies this one into shallow right. Second baseman Troy Sanders is under it, and the Bucs go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. When we come back, Cole Carlone retakes the mound. Second inning at Mulcahy Stadium. 6th meeting between these two clubs in league play, with the Bucs leading the series so far 3-2. These teams also tying in non-league play. Carlone's first start in league play against these rival Pilots. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 in the second inning. Junior Barajas, who catches for these Pilots, serving as the DH today, and he takes a strike.
Yeah, and 6 games played for Barajas. Of course, joined the team a little bit late, but he's played in a good bit of games. I feel like he'd be playing in more, but I guess not.
And talking about late additions playing a lot of games. Jacob Kozu ended last inning with a ground ball to Hankins over at third. He's been in every game since these two last played. Check swing, he did not go around, and honestly, maybe a good thing.
Yeah, because Briggs really had to dart to go get that ball, and now he's just throwing it back to Carlone. I don't think they would have had Barajas.
Only thing is Barajas wasn't running to first, so
right. And just
would have been an interesting play.
Just 2 hits and 17 at bats for Barajas is just really struggling. 5 strikeouts to just the 1 walk.
Going back to Coz, though, in all 8 games since these two teams last played. And down on strikes goes Barajas. Second strikeout for Carlone, and he gets the first out in the second.
Love that. Fastball in the zone, maybe a little bit upstairs. Actually, that was a little bit upstairs to Barajas, but he just pounded him with the fastball. And a great pitch by Carlone, trusting it. He's able to get in there for a strike.
Josh Hankins in on the edge of the grass for Troy Sanders. Takes one low. Sanders catching that ball in shallow right field off the bat of Ryan Callahan to end the Bucs' bottom of the first. Foul tipped, and that fastball from Carlone coming in hot.
Yeah, it really is. That's what I was saying. He just blew Barajas away with that last fastball for strike 3, and he had no chance at catching up to it.
Strike called on the outside corner. Can't be fun as a batter because you're waiting for that strike call, and if you turn around, you're not helping your case.
Not
so you
at
kind
all.
of just got to stand there and wait to see what happens. 1-2, swing and a miss. How about the fastball from Carlone? Back-to-back strikeouts.
Oh, Will, that was the hardest pitch I think we've seen from Carlone all season. That thing was, oh my goodness. That one might not have been that close to the strike zone, but it was, got some speed on it. Man, I can't even believe what I just saw. And not that Carlone throws slower than most guys by any means, but that had a little extra on it. I think he's feeling himself today. I think he's trying to get a little revenge from his last start and might just be pounding the zone more, and probably didn't like that leadoff walk he gave up on 4 pitches.
Was about to say the same thing. It's been a different pitcher since then, and now 0-2 on Chase Knight. Looking to strike out the side.
Yeah, everything just looks like it's got way more life to it today.
Here comes the 0-2 from Carlone with 2 away. Misses low.
And even though he's missing on some of these pitches where he's throwing really hard, he's not missing by much. And I think that's a big telltale sign that he's really feeling good tonight.
Big lefty working quickly and gets another strike 3 swinging. Barajas swinging, Sanders swinging, Knight swinging. Down go the Pilots. We head to the bottom of the second. Back for the bottom of the second. How about the top half of the frame from Cole Carlone out there on the mound, striking out the side, swinging.
Yeah, and those fastballs, we talked about it, they just looked like they had a little bit extra on it. And I said during the break that I think he was touching around 9. I have no idea, but I think he was touching at least 92, 93 on those fastballs.
Eisenstat the other way with it. Chase Knight makes the throw for the first out. And I was talking about forget the sight. You could just hear Briggs's mitt. That was a sound that we haven't quite heard this season.
No, not from, not that any of the Bucs throw slow by any means, but that definitely had some 92, 93 type of juice on it. I would say that most of the Bucs pitchers, and this is a a little bit crazy to say or to predict this, but I would assume that most guys sit anywhere between 86 to 89 or 90. But that's just my guess. But those definitely looked a little more.
Carlone really a special player, being able to throw like that and then hit the way he does most nights for these Bucs. 0-2 on Hankins, and he watches this one way outside. After Hankins, it'll be Adam Enyart. Hankins bounces this one. Another chance for Chase Knight. Gloves it, and that throw is scooped out beautifully by Dylan Marks over at first base.
Yeah, great play. Good throw by Knight. A little bit low, but he got bailed out.
Nice job by Marks over there to secure the second out. Just one base runner between these two clubs so far. That was the leadoff walk on 4 pitches to the man at first base, Dylan Marks. Adam Enyart looking to change that here in the bottom of the second. Stewart's first pitch, just a little bit low. Enyart sprays this one foul. I think that someone might have made a nice grab over there. Someone might have made a nice grab over there? Not sure. I thought I saw the ball bounce out, so not sure what everyone was going crazy about. 1-1. Enyart chased one upstairs. Impressive to get any wood on that.
Yeah. Stewart looks really good, though, so far. A couple ground balls. She looks very comfortable out there.
1-2. Got him swinging. Enyart chased one upstairs and came up empty. Both pitchers looking good so far. No hits, no runs for either side through 2. We head to the third. Back for the third inning. 8-9-1 due up for the Pilots, and Pilots probably just looking to get one in play or at least not go down swinging after the second inning from Carlone.
Yeah, I mean, he just looked absolutely dominant.
That's the word for the Bucs, always looking to be dominant. Carlone has been on the mound so far, and there's another swinging a foul tip into the mid of Briggs. That heater just looks fantastic tonight. That's mostly all we've seen Carlone throw.
Yeah.
Why not? It's been that successful. Don't see any reason why he should change it.
Makes me think that he wasn't really trusting his fastball maybe last start, and that's what was getting him into trouble. He's made the adjustment, it seems.
Yeah. These Pilots still looking to make an adjustment, that's for sure. Carlone just whizzing them by him. 4th straight swinging strikeout in a row, and that time it looked like he went to something off speed and had him fooled.
Yeah, it looked like a slider there from Carlone. I don't know his arsenal for sure, but I'm pretty sure he throws the slider, and that one buried in the right-handed batter's box, and just a great pitch. No chance at the lefty Bo Rico getting to that.
When these guys are so worried about connecting with the fastball, off speed can really be unhittable. Upstairs to Logan Sanders. Logan and Troy in the lineup today for the Pilots. No Marcus.
Goodness.
Another swing and a miss.
It just all got so much heat on it. And he just doesn't look any different pacing-wise or emotion-wise, but definitely is revving back.
Check swing. He certainly went around, not even an appeal from the home plate umpire. It looked like another fastball, and when you're throwing it that hard, you got to make a decision quick as a hitter, and you better be confident in that decision.
And vice versa, you got to make the decision when you've already made the wrong decision to try to pull back.
Low and outside, evens the count at 2-2. Carlone, overall, though, done a great job of finding the strike zone after that rough sequence against Marks to get things started. Swing and a miss, another strikeout. That's 6 for Carlone.
Unbelievable. And actually, I shouldn't say unbelievable. It is believable because he has that type of stuff. That's why he's a Sun Devil and goes to a Power 5 school right there. And just great pitching from him so far. He just looks really sharp. And noting from his pace, I actually changed my mind. I think he's working a little bit faster than we've seen him usually.
Yeah, I'd agree. Catches the zone against Marks. Definitely a guy he wants some revenge on after that 4-pitch walk in the first inning. Fouled off quickly, 0-2. Dylan Marks playing first base. Carlone looking for strikeout number 7 through 3 innings. That one's too far outside. Carlone has already tied his season high in strikeouts.
Got a long way to go, Will.
Yeah, we do. Marks just getting a piece of that one. Able to stay alive, still 1-2. Carlone looking to see Luke Hefner in the 4th inning, moving along quickly here in Anchorage. Due to Carlone and Tyler Stewart, super successful on the mound. Mark's putting up a good fight.
Yeah. I think that he's still just late on these fastballs, though, and Carlone wondering if he should put something way up the ladder and something that Marks can't even reach.
Got him swinging, strike 3. 7 strikeouts for the lefty Carlone through 3 innings. How about we get some run support here in the bottom of the 3rd when we come back? Bottom of the 3rd inning at Mulcahy Stadium. Tyler Stewart back on the mound, and he's been great. Hasn't allowed a hit or even a base runner, but kind of just being outshined by Cole Carlone because of the strikeouts.
Yeah, I mean, can't go without saying that Stewart's done a great job through 2 innings so far. But yeah, I mean, with Carlone on the other side, it's hard to focus on Stewart here. But he's done his job, and he's actually sat down the first 6 batters, which is something that Carlone didn't do with that leadoff walk to start the game.
Cade Lacey takes a strike. It'll be Brody Briggs and Peyton Knowles to follow. Lacey grounds this one up the middle, and there he is, the first base runner. It's a single for Cade Lacey.
And I love how Lacey lets that ball get deep. Looked like something that wasn't too hot to handle, and he waited on it. He's able to drive it up the middle. And that home run in the game against the Oilers, still thinking back to that and how he just got a hold of that baseball and mashed it over left field wall. He's just been seeing the ball a lot better as of late. A guy that did not play as much through the first couple of weeks of games, but recently has definitely gotten a lot more at-bats.
Briggs squares to bunt, gets one down right in front of home plate. Bo Rico goes to get it, and the throw gets past Dylan Marks. Going to third is Cade Lacey, and he's out. Chase Knight applying the tag. Cade Lacey trying to take the extra 90 feet. I believe it was Troy Sanders making that throw. Might have been Luke Stolga. Tough area of the field to see who was backing that up, but Lacey unable to take the extra 90.
Yeah, and that was a really good bunt by Briggs, and I think that because he's a little bit slower, I'm going to have to give the error to the catcher on that one, just because a better throw probably would have beaten him.
So now Knowles takes the strike. Peyton Knowles batting ninth, getting his first start at second. Briggs goes for second, and he's in there safely. What were you saying about his speed?
Sorry, maybe I'm wrong.
Briggs takes the extra 90. Love to see your catcher stealing bases, and he's done it often throughout the season. Not your typical catcher on the base pass. 1-1 the count to Peyton Knowles. Comes up empty. 1-2 now with Briggs in scoring position. First runner in scoring position for either team so far. Bucs looking to get on the board. Let Carlone take the mound with a lead. 1-2. Just a bit low. Two to Peyton Knowles. Is that not a balk? Looked close for sure. Briggs was faking going towards third. Tyler Stewart noticing it at the very last minute, and I think lucky not to be called for a balk there. 2-2. Strike three called. Thought that one was just a bit outside, and I think Peyton Knowles is thinking the same thing. We've talked about it before. I just don't see the need for the late strike calls from home plate umpires. You see it all the time, but you see the pitch, call it a strike or let it go. All this suspense, I think, is a little bit unnecessary, and I'm sure Peyton Knowles thinks similarly. Now Will Burns comes to the plate. He takes a strike.
Yeah, I don't see the reason either. I agree with you. It's just something that umpires think that everyone's there to watch them and there to watch their calls, but unfortunately, I hate to break it to them, they're just not.
0-1's in the dirt. Got Bucs fans across the country. Know we've got some in Michigan. Also a Pilots fan in Michigan. Not sure what's going on with that in our stream comments. Stewart brings the 1-1 and finds the zone. 1-2 on the Bucs shortstop. Pittsburgh native, you would think, would be rooting on the Buccos.
Yeah, I would think so. Pirates are just as much as Bucs as we are.
1-2 pitch. Way outside. Good stop by Bo Rico. Bucs picking up their first hit this inning. Still looking for their first run. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and Briggs on second. Fouled straight back by Burns.
I'd have missed that one. First one all year, Will.
You weren't going to say it?
I didn't say deuces, so I guess I missed it. I was busy looking down.
I'm always here to help you out.
Well, now deuces again, so I got another shot. See if I can give some good luck. There you go.
We'll take it. Count runs 4 on Will Burns. Zane Kelly waiting on deck. Hasn't been in the lineup much recently. Would love to get a chance here to knock in a run and announce himself back on the field for these Bucs. 3-2 to Burns. Runner goes for third. Pitch is outside, and no throw down to third by Bo Rico.
I guess he trusted that that was going to be a strike call, and giving, going or thinking about that, Bo Rico, I wouldn't be surprised because the umpire's been giving the outside corner to at least Carlone, or maybe that one was just not close enough. But I don't know. I'm kind of surprised with how the umpire's been calling that was a ball.
Yeah, it looked like Rico maybe just more focused on framing it than getting Briggs at third. Now runner goes to second. Pitch is swung on and missed. Fake throw by Bo Rico. Burns taking advantage of the first and third situation, and now the Bucs have two in scoring position.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Zane Kelly protecting the runner had to swing and miss at that. Not had to, but did swing and miss.
0-1 on the center fielder. Another swing and a miss. So second and third here with 2 outs in the third. Bucs looking to open the scoring.
Yeah, Kelly looked a little bit fooled on his first at bat. An ugly swing and not the best swing on that last pitch. See if he can foul a couple balls off here.
Takes one outside. Bo Rico once again trying to frame it. That one looking further outside than the last pitch against Burns. Pitchers duel up to this point. Stewart brings the 1-2.
There you go.
Now Kelly has worked it back even.
Now you can mash. Now Kelly's going to put a good swing on it.
Deuce is wild.
Deuces are wild. I was waiting for it to build up a little bit, I swear.
Fouled straight back. Might have hit a window next to us.
Might have hit our Pilots friends. Acquaintances.
Yeah, with this and July 4th coming tomorrow, no friends between these two clubs, huh?
Not at all. And even though there's non-league games, it's still, you're something to play for. 4th of July. Don't want to get swept on a doubleheader.
2-2 bounced on the right side. That'll roll foul. And not only July 4th coming up, but the Mayor's Cup coming up as well. These two teams have already played a ton in the league.
Yeah.
And they're not slowing down these matchups.
Not at all. And both teams had their fair share of good quality games, pitching and hitting, and it's anyone's ball game whenever these teams go back out there, despite the standings.
Another 2-2. Inside, good job by Kelly to hold up. Peel down to second. He did not go around.
Briggs had to scurry back there. He was in no man's land, but he's able to get back. And now 0-2 to 3-2. It took a couple pitches, Will, but Zane Kelly made it happen, and now you might find something that over the plate from Stewart.
Ryan Callahan looming on deck for the Bucs. Briggs at third, Burns at second. Scoreless ball game in the bottom of the third. The pitch hit in the air to right center field. Luke Stolga a few steps towards his right, and he makes the play for the third out. So a couple base runners for the Bucs, but Kelly unable to bring him home. Still scoreless, 3-3. Back for the top of the fourth inning. Bucs trying to scratch one across, couldn't quite do it in the bottom of the third, and now back to Cole Carlone on the bump. And for the play-by-play, here's Vic.
First pitch, big swing and a miss, and that is what we have been used to seeing from Carlone tonight. He has just been chucking that fastball, and these Pilots cannot catch up to it, unfortunately for them. Luke Hefner leads it off. Struck out swinging, and his first at-bat was the first victim for Cole Carlone, and since then has had 6 straight strikeouts, 7 total.
That's crazy that Hefner struck out swinging. Who would have thought?
I don't know. I mean, maybe because everyone else did too. But yeah, 7 straight strikeouts, all swing, or not 7 straight, but 7 strikeouts, all swinging, 6 in a row right now. And he's got an 0-2 count. The pitch, a ground ball, that breaks the streak. Right out to Callahan at first base. He'll step on the bag for out number 1. So Carlone probably a little bit frustrated considering he had an 0-2 count, but I'm sure he'll take the out.
Hey, weak contact on the ground, you'll take it every time. And hey, we've talked about it. Carlone has only gone 4 innings in each of his starts. As much as you love these strikeouts, I know there were 2 strikes there, but if he can get some grounders like that earlier in the counts, that could help him stay in this one a little bit longer.
Batter now, Luke Stolgo, the right fielder. Hauled that one in to kill the threat for the Bucs last half inning. 2 on, 2 out. But Stewart hanging in there tough. 1-0 count, the pitch, fouled away.
Looks like the Bucs fan base in Michigan's really having some fun, making some Bucs cheers to sing to in our chat if anybody wants to learn those.
1-1's outside. Always down for a good cheer.
Rumor has it the guy who sent that cheer had some trouble making a fire. Something that he said is pretty easy in the past. Not sure what's going on there.
2-1 misses upstairs. Carlone for the first time, and it seems like a while has fallen behind in the count.
Yeah, really just that walk to Marks to get things started. Other than that, been pretty locked in.
3-1 fouled back. So count runs full. Tomorrow, we remind you that doubleheader against these Pilots. Both are 7-inning non-league games, so they do not count towards the standings. But if you're not busy and you want some 4th of July plans, come on by. So 3-2's fouled away. First game starts at 7. The next one is about 30 minutes after. So, considering it's a 7-hour game, you'd expected hour and a half, hour 45. Payoff pitch, fouled again.
Hey, it'll be quick if pitchers are pitching like they are tonight.
That sure is.
Go ahead and tease our next question of the day. Ask the players some of their favorite parts about July 4th. So we'll have that posted for you tomorrow. Obviously, a lot of family traditions growing up for these guys.
3-2 misses downstairs. So Carlone finally gives in. Stolgo wins the battle.
What's your favorite part about July 4th?
You know, when I was younger, we lived right by the big park in Atlanta, Chastain Park, and we would get in the back of a family friend's pickup truck, and it was a 5-minute drive. And I don't want to say back then like I'm really old, but I feel like it was a little less risky, or not risky, but a little less unsafe to be riding in the back of a pickup truck for 2 minutes, and a little less socially acceptable now to do that. But we would ride to the park, and in the pickup, that was probably my favorite part. And then, of course, the fireworks were pretty nice, too. But no, the fireworks are great. Watch it on the park. Always a good time. But since then, I haven't really done much for 4th of July, so I'm glad to be out here. Carlone will be glad to get a ground ball in his infield to turn 2. First one misses outside, though.
Yeah, no pickup truck ride in your future tomorrow, I don't think, but we will have fireworks.
That's okay. 1-0. Too far inside.
Wonder if that extended rest from Carlone maybe messed up his rhythm a little bit.
Now working from the stretch, he retired 10 batters in a row after the leadoff walk. Next one's popped up on the infield, foul ground, but in play. Hankins running over, so is Brody Briggs, and Hankins just able to haul that one in as he grins and throws it back to Cole Carlone.
Yeah, looked like he got a little bit turned around by that one, but luckily able to make the play.
So that'll bring up Junior Barajas. Jacob Coes was just eliminated with the fly ball. Barajas struck out swinging, and that started the barrage of 7 straight, and he pops this one up into center field. Zane Kelly drifts over and makes the grab for out number 3. So Carlone works around the 1-out walk. He retires the next 2 batters. It's another good inning for Carlone as we head to the bottom half of the 4th. We'll see if these Bucs bats can wake up when we come back. Welcome back. Excuse our technical difficulties, still just trying to figure out everything. Sometimes technology just doesn't work with us. We have no idea, though. Well, I shouldn't say that. We do have an idea, but some things are harder than others to fix. But back to baseball. Ryan Callahan takes a ball outside. Stewart still on the hill. Cole Carl alone. A walk back in the last half inning. Besides that, really good ball from him so far. Ryan Callahan pops this one up. Foul ground, left side. The third baseman comes over. That's Chase Knight, and that will exit out of play. New life for Ryan Callahan.
Knight not far away from that one. Just a row over the fence over there.
So 1 ball, 1 strike. Next one from Stewart. Popped up foul again. Good fight by Callahan. One, two, Tapper. We'll see if Stewart tries to get it. He can't. Now the second baseman, Troy Sanders, tries to make the play, and the flip is not in time, so Callahan is aboard.
Yeah, that ball just hit into no man's land. Pilots probably wishing they communicated things a little bit better, but even if they did, it would have been a tough play.
So no one can come up with it for the Pilots' defense. It'll be Tommy Eisenstadt up. He flies this out to left field, a long run for Coase, but he makes the catch right before the foul line. One down here in the 4th inning. Been speeding along. Corlone's looked really good. And that'll bring up Josh Hankins. Hankins grounded out to the third baseman. Go back to first and almost got away from Dylan Marks. Callahan's in there safely. First one to Hankins. It's downstairs. On deck, Adam Inyart. Bucs struggling here to get some runners on in this game in general. Just the 2 base hits. Of course, Callahan lead off walk, and now the throw down to second base is dropped by Sanders, and Callahan will be in there with a stolen bag.
Even had he caught it, I think Callahan's in there safely.
Some good speed out of him, something you might not expect. Hankins now a 2-0 count. The pitch too far outside from Stewart. (3-0). That's downstairs. So now 2 are aboard with 1 out. Last inning, the Bucs had 2 on with 2 out. So we'll see if this makes any difference. Adam Inyart stands in there.
To the point left over from St. Mary's, number 24, Adam Inyart.
First one, a ground ball out to first base. Dylan Marks going to have 1 play, and he steps on the bag. Runners move over in a similar situation to last inning. With 2 on and 2 outs, Cade Lacey, who has one of the 2 base hits for the Bucs, is up, though.
Yeah, we saw second and third with 2 outs, so really similar situation.
Lacey hit it right back up the middle. Would love one here, but he pops this one up to right field. Luke Stogel will come in. He'll make the grab. So the Bucs' threat is defeated here. They cannot get the runners around. They leave two stranded. We head to the top of the 5th inning, still scoreless here in Anchorage. Welcome back here, top half of the 5th inning. Carlone's still out there, still looking very sharp. We're going to try to roll without video for a second, just because it's flickering in and out. We're going to try to get that fixed for you guys. We apologize, of course. That one's fouled away by Troy Sanders, who leads it off for the Pilots. So no balls, one strike. Carlone working really well. Swung on a miss by Troy Sanders, who struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. Next one, a ground ball out to second base. First chance, it seems, for Peyton Knowles, and he makes the play.
Yeah, for Knowles' first start at second, so sure he's happy to get a ball hit his way.
Play the third baseman from Fresno State University, number 13, Chase Knight.
So that'll bring up Chase Knight. Carlone would like to get more ground balls, fly balls, get his defense into it. Now with still with 7 strikeouts, seems like he's done his job there.
Already a season high.
Now just let the infield, outfield do the work, and he gets a big swing and miss there. Just in terms of his pitch count, not that it's too high necessarily. Over 60 pitches now here in the 5th. It's actually very good. 1-1. Check swing, they'll appeal, and they say he went. It's a good call.
Of course we think that.
So Rylan Hyder out in the bullpen warming up for the Bucs. He'd be next to come in, but still pretty early for Carlone. 1-2, called strike 3. Brody Briggs knew it immediately.
I believe that's the first strikeout looking from Carlone.
That one painted too, so for Chase Knight, it wasn't right down the middle. That'll bring up Bo Rico. Apologize for the technical difficulties, just headbusters left and right, seems. And it seems like Brody Briggs might have something in his eye. Could be one of those turf pellets. Seen those skip up pretty high sometimes, and
that would not be fun.
Not at all, but it looks like he's all right. So first pitch to Bo Rico, who struck out swinging, of course, was in the middle of that barrage of swinging strikeouts. Fouls that one back. 0-1. A beautiful breaking ball from Carlone. Falls right in the middle of the zone, and he's one pitch away from having another short inning. And he's just been dealing here so far tonight. The 0-2 pitch. Right down Broadway, and Briggs already heading back to the dugout. Cole Carlone does a little strut off the mound. 1-2-3 inning, and another strikeout for the young man. We head to the bottom half of the 5th inning, still scoreless.
Leading off the bottom half of the 5th for the Bucs, the catcher from Arizona State University, number 5, Briggs.
Welcome back here. Excuse me if you might have heard us trying to workshop through setting it up. I'll take a little bit of a break here real quick as we just get everything set up. Swing and a miss by Brody Briggs, and we are back a little bit. Next one, fly ball left field. Jacob Cowles makes that grab. One down.
To the plate, the second baseman for the Gonzaga, number 25, Peyton Knowles.
So that'll bring up Peyton Knowles. First little bit of work for him back last half inning. Been pretty quiet over there on the second base side as he fouls that one back.
That foul ball is brought to you by Alaska Blacktop and Silver.
No balls, one strike. The pitch. A called strike. Stewart's still looking good as that one's lined to second base and on the fly. Troy Sanders hauls that baby in. 2 down. So quickly 2 down. Another pretty quick inning so far for Stewart. Now Will Burns grabs a bat. 0 for 1, a walk back in the third as he takes that one low and away. Really eerily similar to the first game this season. We were scoreless for a long time against the Pilots as this one's popped up to right field. Grabbing it is Luke Stolgo. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Stewart on the hill again, and he has looked really sharp. We head to the the top half of the 6th inning. The score still 0-0 here.
On after the 5th, and I just run no hits, no errors, just run to 5 0 Bucks.
Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium here. Top half of the 6th inning for the Bucs and the Pilots. Here on the hill is Ryland Hyder, and so far his 9th appearance. We've seen him a lot. 12 and a third innings pitched, 8 hits, just 5 runs. Will's last time out.
Yeah, an inning and a third, 3 hits. Did give up 3 runs.
Oh wait, excuse me. The one before that was much better. His last one just ran into some problems, but gets a called strike here to start the top of the 6th inning. The batter is Logan Sanders, the 9-hole hitter for the Pilots. That one's inside.
Yeah, his last outing came the game before that. Just went 2/3 of an inning cleaning up some action on the base paths and did so cleanly. A strikeout and no hits.
1-1. Popped up. And that's going to be out of play. That was really close to us.
Landed right behind us, actually.
Yeah, sure did. We might have a souvenir behind us. Now we got to race the Pilots guy to go get it, right?
Hey, once the last out of this inning, I just heard a door open. I think we may have been beat.
One, two. Slider misses outside, and that one had a lot of horizontal break, and I think Hyder wanted the call, but just too far outside. And his last outing was the one he gave up the home run to Eddie Leon. That was a 2-run shot. Something you don't really see Hyder do is leave something over the plate like that. 2-2 swung on and missed. Sanders couldn't hold up on the slider, and that slider for Hyder, as I like to say, is just devastating with that horizontal break.
Yeah, forget the natural break. There's the added break from his arm slide that just adds to it and makes it even more egregious. A little bit surprised he was able to get the swing from Sanders because that pitch was almost identical to the pitch before, and Sanders didn't offer at it.
Yeah, and maybe Sanders thought that last one was close, and it was pretty close, and maybe thought this one was more inside the zone, and he gets the chase. So Dylan Marks gets a called strike on him. Hyder also not just with the arm angle, but where he sets up on the rubber. He's all the way on that right side, so things start for a righty batter like they're hitting them, and it just floats right into the zone. Next one is in the dirt.
But, yes, it was in the dirt, but in terms of in the side or not, we saw Marks kind of back out of there, and it almost came across the plate from a horizontal standpoint.
1 ball, 1 strike. Swung on and missed. That thing is just got a lot of movement. And Hyder's one of those guys, same with Carlone, that, you poke the bear and you're going to pay for it. And unfortunately for the Pilots, they weren't the one to poke Ryland Hyder. It was the Oilers. But They're feeling the wrath of it right here. 1-2, fouled back. Just gets a piece of that slider.
What I like about Hyder is he doesn't take a bad appearance too personally. He's excited to get back out there, but he knows he's one of those guys who you can tell knows bad appearances are going to happen, and it's just something that you have to deal with, and a lot of it is about how you respond to them, not just preventing them from happening in the first place.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch, swung on and missed. Hyder goes back to that slider, and wow, that thing is breaking crazy today.
How about Hyder and Carlone just strikeout after strikeout?
And Carlone, not as many strikeouts going later into the game, but his last 2 batters, well, he went out with a bang. Struck out Chase Knight looking and struck out Bo Rico swinging.
It's now 11 for them combined, 9 for Carlone and already 2 for Hyder.
Just missing double digits, but really close, and a great ball game from him. Unfortunately, will not be able to get the win because he came out of the game, it was scoreless, and then that last half inning was the Bucs' last chance to try to get him a win, and unfortunately cannot do so. Luke Hefner, the batter, one's fouled back.
Yeah, unfortunate for Carlone that he can't pick up the win. First time going 5 innings, and it was not only the longest appearance from him of the season, but the best appearance from him of the season.
1 ball, 1 strike on Hefner. 0 for 2, and he watches the slider downstairs. Two-one on the outside corner, but just too far outside, and tough break for Hyder. Now falls behind 3-1 with 2 down.
Man on deck and the man in the hole. Stolga and Coase, the only 2 guys for the Pilots that haven't struck out.
3-1. Ground ball out to first. Ryan Callahan bobbles. Going to be a close play. Steps on the bag and gets the out just in time. So a 1-2-3 inning for Rylan Hyder. 2 strikeouts, but other than that, just a ground ball to first base. Nothing doing for the Pilots. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Excuse me. Time for the bats to wake up. Bottom half of the 6th inning, something's got to give, and, well, it might just with a new pitcher on the mound. It is Tommy Beam. He is tall, lanky, and he is a righty. And Beam, so far this year, 6th appearance, he's 2-0, so a couple decisions, and he's actually has 2 saves, so a later use type of guy. He's the only one with a save, and he's got 2 of them for the Pilots. 12 innings pitched, 8 hits, 4 runs, sporting a 3 ERA. So he's been really sharp for the Pilots so far. And looking at his last time out, Will.
Yeah, 3 innings save. He was pitching with a 7-run lead, but one of the weird caveats to the save rule, if you pitch 3 innings, doesn't matter how much your team is up by. 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts.
So a tough guy on the hill, and he faces a tough guy at the plate, Zane Kelly, who's 0 for 2, but I'm sure he's licking his chops for a base hit. Has not been in the lineup as of late for the Bucs. Just a couple games. He hits a ground ball sharply to second. Sanders, great play, long throw, and that one gets away. Zane Kelly read it well. He heads into second base. He is standing there, and we'll see how that one is scored. A tough play by Sanders, but he totally whiffed on the throw. That one was way past Dylan Marks and just too hot to handle. So it will go down as an error by Sanders, which is definitely the right call. And even with how fast Zane Kelly is, if Sanders just has a better throw, he's got him in a good bit of time, I'd say.
Yeah, I wonder if Marks maybe should have abandoned the bag. Always a tough decision as a first baseman. Do you try to make the play, or do you abandon the bag to make sure that runner just stays on first base? Because now the Bucs are in business with a runner on second and nobody out in a game where base runners and runners in scoring position have been so hard to come by. No runs from either side so far. That could be a big play in this game.
See if it comes back to haunt the Pilots, especially Troy Sanders, the one making the throw, and of course Dylan Marks maybe kicking himself for not coming off the bag like you mentioned. So Ryan Callahan is up. That one misses. Kelly with some speed over there at second base, and the outfielders aren't super shallow. I'd say center field Logan Sanders and Luke Stolger are more shallow than Jacob Coes, but a base hit should score Zane Kelly. 1-0, hit off the end of the bat, a ground ball to third. That will not move the runner over, and it's going to be an out for Callahan as Chase Knight delivers a strike over to Dylan Marks at first base.
Yeah, just unfortunate. That's kind of the last place you want that ball to go, in all honesty, because Zane Kelly doesn't have the opportunity to go to third.
So Tommy Eisenstadt, designated hitter.
He's gone the other way with it both times. Would love to see that turn into some good luck for him.
Ground ball to third, and now the runner goes, and he is out by a mile. Zane Kelly, I don't know if it was a bad jump, or I don't know if Bo Rico had a good beat on it. The throw was, or the pitch, excuse me, was a strike, so, or was a ball. Now I'm all forgetting everything, but regardless, not sure if Zane Kelly just had a bad jump or Bo Rico had him timed perfectly, but that was an easy play, and now all of a sudden 2 down, nobody on, Will. And a ground ball out to third, and this could do it. Dylan Marks takes it, steps on the bag, and a 1-2-3 inning as Tommy Bean comes in, faces the minimum after Bo Rico catches Zane Kelly trying to snag third base. We head to the top half of the 7th inning, still scoreless here. Welcome back, top half of the 7th, and like we said, eerily similar to the first meeting all season between these two teams, the opening day where it seemed about scoreless the whole game and a 1-0 victory for the Pilots. But Rylan Hyder on again for the Bucs, and now back with the play-by-play, here is Will Hopkins.
Appreciate it, Vic. Both pitching staffs doing a phenomenal job. I will say the Bucs may be leaving a couple more opportunities out there at the plate and on the base paths. First pitch swinging is Luke Stolga out to center, and Zane Kelly Little hop up in the air for that one. Had come in originally, but ends up being no problem. 1 pitch, 1 out. This Bucs staff, a really, really good day on the mound, but they need some help from the bats.
They sure do. Something that we don't say quite often. Down the peninsula, the first two games that they lost, the Bucs definitely were in for a lack of hitting wise, but were able to put up a couple of runs, just couldn't string together consistent runs. But here, it's just zeros, goose eggs all over.
7-1 win over the Oilers a couple of days ago here at home. Obviously scoring 7 runs. Bats weren't too much of a problem. Jacob Coes chased one outside on the first offering from Hyder and now grounds one to first. 2 hops over to Callahan and 3 pitches, 2 outs for Hyder.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of plays for both teams over there at first base. It seems like Callahan's been pretty busy. That is the 3rd unassisted play for Ryan Callahan just since the 4th inning. So 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th, and then now 1 in the 7th. And for the Bucs, a couple of unassisted plays, 2 out for Dylan Marks over there at first base. 1 to end this last inning, and 1 back in the 4th.
Barajas takes one on the outside corner. Hyder has looked good since coming in here. Going to bounce back after a rough appearance against the Oilers. 0-1 on the designated hitter. Bounced a few feet in front of home plate. Barajas a strikeout and a flyout so far. Sidewinder's ready, and here comes. Grounder to the left side this time. Burns gloves it and makes the throw. A lightning fast top of the 7th inning for Rylan Hyder. Still scoreless here in Anchorage. Time to stretch. Still Tommy Beam on for the Pilots. Why not? Had a good inning last inning. Troy Sanders with an error, but other than that, clean stuff from the Oilers and Beam on the mound. He'll face 5, 6, and 7 for the Bucs. First of which is Josh Hankins, the 3rd baseman. Bucs just 2 hits so far, 4 men left on base. First pitch swung on, grounded up the middle, and that's a great start for the Bucs here in the bottom of the 7th.
Here's a little reverse jinx for you, Will. I bet that feels good.
Yeah, it does. Every once in a while, get a good one, huh? Not the first time we've seen the leadoff man aboard for the Bucs. Obviously, to this point, unable to bring that leadoff man home. Adam Enyart comes to the plate, or it looks like we might have a pinch hitter. Is that Max Ross?
Yeah, it looks like it's Ross out there, and maybe this is the inning they break through, Will.
So Max Ross grabs a bat for the first time today. And with just 3 hits for the Bucs, maybe Ross can have some early luck in his first plate appearance. Josh Hankins stands at first. And they check on him over there. He's in standing up. Tommy Beam, the Pittsburgh native, First pitch, Ross shows bunt, pulls it away as the pitch is outside, and maybe that's why he's in there. Maybe they just like his bunting more than Adam Enyart, not sure. Get some signs from Coach Sanagorski over there by third.
Definitely could be that. Has more speed than Enyart, so has a better chance at beating it out too.
Another check on Hankins. Not a very big lead over there.
Yeah, not really sure why. But, hey, if his attention is over there towards Hankins, it's better for the Bucs anyways. Let him keep throwing over there.
Now the 1-0. He squares again, gets it down in front of home. Beam goes to first and throws a strike over there, but Max Ross does his job.
Yeah, he sure does, and a little surprised that they didn't go to second. Not that Hankins wasn't running down there, but that wasn't the best bunt by Ross. Kind of hit back to the pitcher, and
I
they're
was
lucky.
thinking the same thing.
And now another pinch hitter. Looks like Andrew Lamb coming in, so really shaking things up now.
I believe Cade Lacey, one of the Bucs with a hit, so a little bit surprised to see him pulled, but we'll see how the outfield looks next half inning as well. So Andrew Lamb grabs the bat after Max Ross pinch hit and did his job with a sacrifice, moving Hankins into scoring position. It'll be Andrew Lamb and then Brody Briggs looking to get the Bucs on the board.
Don't know if we have seen Max Ross play left field yet. Obviously, one of the main center field guys, so I'm sure it won't be too hard.
This one's hit in the air, one hop and through the second baseman, Troy Sanders. Josh Hankins gets the wave around home. There will be no throw. The Bucs are on the board in the seventh. It's 1-0.
How about it? Andrew Lamb comes off the bench, but that bat, it's not as cold as his buns might be. I'll tell you that for sure. And a great base hit. Rocketed through the infield.
Great job by both pinch hitters. Max Ross able to get Hankins into scoring position, and Andrew Lamb able to bring him home. Was from here for a second, I thought Sanders might have gloved that off one hop. Would have been an amazing play, but unable to come up with it. And in a game so low scoring, that first run, huge.
Huge. Great decision by the coaching staff. Oh, there he goes.
Delayed steal. Long look from the umpire, and he's in there safely.
Yeah, I think he dropped the ball,
I
actually.
think so, too.
And they might have had him because even with the delayed steal, and it took some time for Hefner to get over there. Will, that was a great throw, actually, and the tag was perfectly placed, too. The only thing is they dropped the ball.
So another runner in scoring position. Whether it's Hyder or someone else on for the eighth, I'm sure they'd love to have a lead bigger than just the one run.
Well, I think it is going to be Hyder. No one really up in the bullpen.
1-0 to Briggs. Watches it outside, and now this Bucs dugout getting a little bit involved for Tommy Beam. Hasn't pitched poorly, but in a game like this, you got to be almost flawless.
Exactly, and 2 base hits, it's enough to do it. It's now double the amount they came into the inning with, and usually that's going to result in a run.
Lamb dancing around at second. Briggs, big swing, that time down to a knee, coming up empty. After Briggs, it'll be Peyton Knowles, who is standing in the on-deck circle, so as of now, it doesn't look like there will be a pinch hitter for him, and then back to the top.
Good effort over there by Troy Sanders trying to get that ball from Lamb, but that one's just way too hot off the bat.
This one hit out to left. Going to be a long run for Cows, and he can't get to it. Andrew Lamb rounds third. He's coming home. He's going to score. Into second goes Brody Briggs. It's 2-0 Bucs.
Great job by Brody Briggs, and that is a double for sure because that bounced off the line, and it was fair by a good bit, but it actually put the ball near the fence over there, and it caused Jacob Coes to have to go all the way to that left field fence to be able to haul it in. And Sanagorski, great job. He was recognizing that Coes was going into the fence to track that ball down, and that allowed Lamb to score with ease.
Great job by Briggs going the other way with it. First pitch is a strike to Peyton Knowles, and like you said, 2 hits coming into this inning, and now 3 hits this inning. Crazy how things can just turn so quickly.
Exactly. Leadoff man aboard, eventually just going to come back to bite you. Might take a couple innings, Will, but...
It has here.
Exactly. Now an arm has started warming up in the pen. We'll try to ID that for you guys.
Briggs dancing around at second, and Knowles watches this one outside. Bucs scoring 2 in the bottom of the 7th. First runs of the whole game for either side. These teams will play twice tomorrow, and you know that heading into playing a team twice, you would love to have beaten them the previous day. That one's inside.
Looks like Jeremiah Arnett, the righty, is in the bullpen for the Bucs. We've seen him pitch a lot here.
Yeah.
And a lot as of late. Seemed like he started out with a lot of innings, took a little bit of a break, and then now it's just been pitching a ton for this Bucs team.
Long look at second base, and now home with it. Big cut and a miss. Knowles chasing the high cheese that time.
Yeah, don't see the Bucs hitters do that a lot, and you can see after that last pitch, I'm sure he's going to try his best to fight in this at bat and get something in the grass, and that's what he's hoping for. I don't think we'll see another awkward swing from him.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Good eye.
Like I said, went right back up there. Knowles is a smart hitter. He knows that that's what Tommy Beam's probably going to do after getting a big swing and miss, climbing the ladder. He's just going to go right back to it. But Knowles, with that discipline, able to lay off. See what Tommy Beam tries to do here. If he's smart, he'd attack Knowles.
3-2. And that's inside. Great at bat by Peyton Knowles to take his walk.
Exactly, and Knowles is such a good eye, and Tommy Beam, I don't know if he missed with that last pitch, that last fastball, trying to bury it inside, or was trying to get a swing and miss for Knowles if it was the swing and miss. That's why I said if he was a smart man, just try to attack Knowles. Make him look silly. He's going to make you pay with a couple of balls in the next couple pitches.
Bo Rico going to go have a chat with Tommy Beam.
Yeah, and that's a huge walk because now we flip the order to the top, and Will Burns will bat. He's 0 for 2 with a walk, but definitely looking for a base hit.
3 hits for the Bucs here. And another thing that I think is important, a couple of errors for the Pilots, and with the Bucs throwing so many strikeouts, no chances for the Pilots to force the Bucs into an error as that one floats outside. You put the ball in play, you make the defense make a play. When Carlone and Hyder are just sitting guys down via strikeout, then these Bucs fielders don't even have to worry about that, nor can the Pilots batters count on it.
Exactly. You're exactly right. And this Bucs team does such a great job. That's why we talk about the lack of strikeouts that this offense has. And because of that, they're putting more balls into play. And a team like the Pilots, who have the most strikeouts in the league, that's why they run into games where the other team has no errors, because they're just not that many chances.
This one hit on the left side. Chase Knight gloves it over to second for one. Sanders' throw to first is not going to be in time. Ball hit a little bit weakly off of Burns' bat. Wonder if it might have broken. Sounded a little bit funny for sure, but luckily hit slow enough to break up the double play.
Yeah, but now runners at first and third. Yeah, there's 2 outs, but the way you've been hitting, still have a good chance at bringing another run in.
Now Zane Kelly to the plate, looking for his first hit of the game. Lefty watches one outside. Briggs at third, Burns at first. Wonder if we'll see Burns maybe off to the races, trying to see how the Pilots will defend it. And he is off to the races. The pitch is outside. There's going to be no throw from Bo Rico. Great job by Burns, taking the extra base, and now a single from Kelly could give the Bucs a 4-0 lead.
Yep, exactly right.
Two balls, no strikes to the Bucs center fielder. And he watches one low, so Beam a ball away from loading up the bases for Ryan Callahan.
It's another stolen bag for Will Burns, and it might not look the speediest guy on the field, but he has some wheels.
Kelly had the green light, fouled it back, and I believe his other stolen base came with Briggs on third base. Going towards second, that time Rico pumped a throw. This time he didn't even bother faking it. So Bucs just taking advantage of a situation that's difficult to defend.
Yeah, and if you're Zane here, 3 straight balls, and you fouled that last one off, don't want to be swinging anything too far outside of the zone. There you go.
So he takes his walk on 5 pitches, and now Callahan in a spot where he could really break this game open.
He really could, and that's a good job by Zane Kelly, not letting Beam expand the zone on him and not swinging at something off the plate and allowing himself to get aboard via the base on balls. And now bases loaded, 2 outs. But the way this inning has been going, even though you have the 2 outs, Callahan's still been swinging somewhat of the hot stick and might force a hand for the Pilots, might force their hand. And it's not Rich Price out there, but
I believe that's pitching coach Jordan Brink, who, if I'm not mistaken, played for the Bucs. So you know these games mean a little bit extra for him.
Yep. Rivalry runs deep, Will.
And Tommy Beam, he's no stranger to rivalries, coming from Pittsburgh and going to West Virginia. The backyard brawl, they call it, between Pitt and West Virginia, so he probably knows a good bit about that from both growing up and being a Mountaineer. This is definitely the biggest rivalry that the ABL has to offer. The Bucs and the Glacier Pilots. Bucs lead the season series in league play 3-2 and now leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. Ryan Callahan looking to really break this game open.
And 2 runs might seem like a lot considering how this game has gone, but you definitely want to pad that lead.
At the end of the day, no matter how well you're pitching, 2 runs just a bloop and a blast.
Exactly.
Briggs at third, Burns at second, Kelly at first, Callahan at the plate. Tommy Beam looking to limit it to just 2 runs. Callahan swings at this one, hits it into right center, but it's going to hold up for Logan Sanders. So Beam is able to get out of it, but not until the Bucs scrape 2 across home plate. We head to the 8th inning. It's 2-0 Bucs. Back for the top of the 8th inning. New pitcher on for the Bucs after 2 clean innings from Rylan Hyder. It's Jeremiah Arnett, Vic.
Yeah, his 8th appearance. He's 3-0. He's had 3 decisions because he's pitched a good bit of innings each time he's come on. He's not a guy we see just come in for the 1 inning or even less than that just to get a couple batters out. He's usually in for 1-2 innings at the minimum. In those 12 innings, given up 18 hits, 6 runs, only 5 of them have been earned, 3.75 ERA. He's just looked really sharp, and he's been a great middleman in this rotation and a guy that gets you to where you need to go and sets up a guy in the 9th inning. And we'll see who that guy is. But if Arnett pitches well here, he could go to the 9th. It's just the 8th inning here. So, like I said, a guy that normally pitches more than just 1 inning could definitely close it out tonight. But I'm looking in the bullpen. I don't know if that'll be the case.
And for Arnett, his last game was the same as Hyder's, and he also struggled. It was a bit of an odd game from a pitching standpoint as he finds the zone to get things started. Gurney, Arnett, Hyder, and Purcell pitching in that one. The first 3 not having their best stuff. Purcell 3 clean innings to close, but just guys that weren't on their day. And as that one's outside, we saw Hyder bounce back in a big way today and hoping to see the same from Arnett, who was only able to complete 2/3 of an inning, giving up 4 runs.
Yeah, that game just seemed that everyone was piggybacking off of each other except for Purcell. Gurney didn't have his stuff. Hyder didn't have his stuff. So then Arnett didn't really have his stuff. So Purcell was the only black sheep, really. And here it could be the other way around. Carlone had a great game. Hyder came in, did his job, and now Arnett a chance.
And the Bucs still almost won that game. Had a chance to tie it in the 9th. Good throw from left field, getting Powell out at home. But incredible for a game when your pitchers don't have it to still be competitive like that. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Troy Sanders. He puts this one in play. at the edge of the infield dirt. Peyton Knowles gloves it for the first out, and setting the defense for the Bucs after the pinch hitters last inning. Max Ross will stay in the game and play left field. We thought there might be a chance he'd move into his more usual center field. I believe this is the first time we've seen him at any other position. And Andrew Lamb stays in the game and plays right field. Infield remains unchanged, so Ross, Kelly, and Lamb from left to right, as there's a swing and a miss from Chase Knight.
Yeah, definitely thought that it could be a total switch up in the outfield, but it just goes to show you that all three of these guys can really play any position in the outfield, to be honest.
Called strike on Chase Knight. He's struck out swinging and looking. $11 strikeouts for the Bucs as a staff. He puts this one into foul territory and well out of play down the left field line, but stays alive to see another one from the Wichita State shocker, Jeremiah Arnett.
I'm just awaiting the return for Hunsaker still. Will give the outfield more options of who to put in center and other places in the outfield as well, right and left field. Just really gives Coach Springman and all the coaches just an opportunity to plug and play. Other guys, put Zane Kelly back into right field, give Ross a couple of days off in center.
1-2 is grounded to Peyton Knowles. Scoops it up and makes the throw to Callahan, 2 away. Soft ground ball that time. Plenty of time for Knowles, who doesn't have a lot of experience this season at second base, to get his feet set, pick it up with ease, and make the toss over to first. So now Bo Rico, who also has a strikeout of each variety. Last hope for the Pilots in this 8th inning. Big swing from Rico, coming up empty, and for a team that struck out as much as these Pilots have, you'd think that he'd have a little bit different of an approach than that.
Right.
Hankins in on the edge of the grass. Late strike call from the home plate umpire.
I'll take it. It looks like it's Brody Purcell out in the bullpen, and Will, for a 2-0 game like that, I can't think of another better arm to have in that bullpen waiting to go.
Got him swinging, strike 3. Arnett pitches a 1-2-3 8th inning. Bucs still lead it 2-0 as we head to the bottom half. Bottom of the 8th inning. Tommy Eisenstadt, Josh Hankins, and Max Ross looking to provide some insurance for who we expect to be Brody Purcell for the 9th inning, as the Bucs lead it 2-0, getting both those runs just last inning. Tommy Beam still out there for the Pilots.
Yeah, a little bit surprised. We'll see if he can find that command once again and keep these Bucs bats off the base pass, but considering how last inning went, it's going to be tough.
Eisenstadt looking for his first hit so far. checks his swing, and the home plate umpire says he went around. Due up in the 9th for the Pilots, it'll be 9-1-2. Logan Sanders, Dylan Marks, and Luke Hefner. That one's inside, and after what we saw from the Bucs last inning using a couple of pinch hitters, wonder if Rich Price and the Pilots might think the same way, as their lineup has struggled from top to bottom. 2-1's cracked foul.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm just surprised right now they haven't really made any changes. And going into the 9th, not that it's not too late, it's never too late, but got to be thinking to yourself, if you're Coach Price over there, I kind of had my opportunity, it didn't really take it. The Bucs took their opportunity, and it paid off.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Couple of hops over to Chase Knight. Strong throw gets his man one away. Brings up Josh Hankins, who got the party started last inning with his base hit.
Yep, leadoff man aboard. It finally pays off for the Bucs.
Hankins came around to score on a single from the pinch hitter Andrew Lamb. Then Andrew Lamb coming around to score on a Brody Briggs double. First pitch is inside on the third baseman. Tommy Beam's thrown 35 pitches. This is his 3rd inning of work. Pulled, but right at Chase Knight. Hardly had to move.
Yep, the lazy line drive. Not a bad swing from Hankins, just unable to really barrel it up.
So now Max Ross, who laid down a beautiful sacrifice bunt in his lone plate appearance so far. I mean, I say beautiful in that it got the job done, but like we said, Tommy Beam could have thought about throwing over to second, but if you're Ross, you see him make that throw to first, you've done your job.
100%, yeah. It doesn't necessarily have to be the most pretty bunt ever, and he did his job, and Beam maybe thinking he could have gone to second base, but of course took the easy and safer out at first.
This one's hit the other way. One hop off the glove of Luke Hefner, and that'll be a hit, I would think, for Max Ross. Was going to be a super tough play with that ball just kind of floating over there.
Yeah, you read my mind. That ball was drifting further and further away from Hefner, and even if he got to it, fielded it cleanly, it would have been an off-balance, really tough throw by him. So yeah, definitely going to go down as a base knock.
Wouldn't be surprised at all to see Max Ross in motion here, try to get another runner into scoring position. Lead just 2 runs for the Bucs. First pitch to Lamb is outside. Lamb singling and picking up that RBI last inning and then coming around to score like we mentioned. And just like we saw a couple of days ago, a little chat with the home plate umpire. Beam not working particularly quickly, but Lamb still trying to throw off the rhythm a little bit. Ross back safely, and maybe Beam and the Oilers thinking, or not Oilers, excuse me, the Pilots thinking a little bit similarly to we are, that Ross might be on the move. Decent sized lead over there. And Ross is going. Oh, bluffed me. Pitch is called a strike. Luckily, he's back in there, and Borico was up and ready to throw. Wonder, we'll see Ross in motion here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs to Andrew Lamb. Close play over there, but Ross in safely. Takes a lead any bigger than that, Beam might have him.
Yeah. Got to be careful over there. Definitely doesn't want to be the last out. I try to push across just 1 more run if you're the Bucs.
1-1's up and away.
Looks like Purcell's ready and waiting. Big opportunity, big job in the 9th.
Big job indeed. Lamb gets his signs from Coach Sanagorski. And another throw over to first.
Perfect lead for Max Ross. He knows just the right amount to get off of first, and he's able to get back there safely every time, it seems.
Bucs trying to add on to a 2-0 lead. Fouled straight back by Lamb, so
deuces.
Yep, was just about to say it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in this penultimate frame. The The July 4th two-gamer looming. Lamb's ready. Beam is ready. The 2-2. Up and in.
Good at bat by Lamb.
Yep.
Making Beam really work for this last out. You know, the Pilots want to get those bats back up. Still only down by 2. Like we've been saying, blooping a blast could get them right back into this game.
Max Ross will be off with the pitch with 3-2 and 2 outs, but Beam's going to check on him first.
I love how Ross doesn't really shorten up his lead that much at all. Still pretty far off of first, and it's good because Beam is still going to be cautious and still going to be worrying about him over at first base, which might take attention away from Lamb in the batter's box.
And Mark's not holding him off and holding him on over there anymore. He goes, the pitch is outside. Lamb reaches for his second time in as many plate appearances. And now Brody Briggs, who had that big RBI double last inning to extend that lead to 2-0.
Yeah, that's a huge double. Gonna look back on it and think that, you know, that's the reason why it's not just a one-run ball game. And it was a huge hit by Brody Briggs, and even Andrew Lamb, who's at first base right now, coming in cold off the bench, base hit, and these two back-to-back. The reason why the Bucs are up.
Briggs takes a strike, and for Briggs, probably a lot going on in his mind about what he's going to be calling for Brody Purcell in the 9th, but first maybe trying to increase that lead for Purcell to work with. 0-1 is fouled off, so Beam way out ahead of Briggs 0-2 with Peyton Knowles waiting on deck. With 2 outs, Ross and Lamb will be off to the races with the crack of the bat. Beam trying to keep it at just 2 runs for his Pilots to have to make up in the 9th. The 0-2. That's inside.
Good take by Briggs. Not a bad miss at all from Beam, and a better, more disciplined eye from Brody Briggs.
One ball, 2 strikes to the Bucs catcher. Upstairs. Bucs really not chasing anything from Beam. Deuce is wild here in the 8th inning at Mulcahy Stadium. Beam's 49th pitch, grounded on the right side. Troy Sanders stumbles, but a great play to toss it over to Luke Hefner, who steps on second base. Sanders losing his footing. His brother Logan will lead things off when we return for a big top of the 9th inning. Back for a big top of the ninth inning here at Mulcahy Stadium. Bucs lead it by a score of 2-0. Pilots not a lot of success so far at the plate, and Brody Purcell trying to keep it that way.
Yeah, Purcell has been one of the best arms for the Bucs, and this is his 8th appearance, 11 1/3 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, and he has been sharp as nails, sporting a .79 ERA, second best on the team.
First pitch is fouled out of play by Logan Sanders, whose brother Troy made an outstanding play, slipping and able to get the ball over to second base just barely in time. Purcell's last appearance, 3 innings, no hits, no runs, 3 strikeouts, and no walks.
And excuse me, with how well Purcell has done, actually there's 3 guys with a .75 ERA. That's Andrew Rudd and Garvey Rummery. And Rummery had a great game last time out, so it's just a lack of innings. The reason why his is a little bit lower than the other 2.
1-1 is fouled straight back. Logan Sanders, Dylan Marks, and Luke Hefner. Purcell's 1-2 in the dirt.
Yeah, Purcell's just a strike thrower. Gets ahead of guys, stays ahead, blows them away with his fastball. Has great command of all his pitches.
Swing and a miss. Purcell gets Sanders on strikes. That's 1 away here in the 9th.
There you go.
That's now 13 strikeouts for this staff. 9 from Carlone, 2 from Hyder, 1 from Arnett, and now 1 from Purcell. Carlone issued 2 walks. Other than that, not much to take note of. Dylan Marks steps in. He's walked and struck out twice. And Purcell getting ahead 0-1.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Ks, and I think Purcell might have at least 1 more in store for us, but a lot of strikeouts for this Pilots team.
Had Dylan Marks looking absolutely ridiculous with that pitch, and Bucs dugouts loving it.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a swing saying that you're just overmatched right now. Purcell has got everything working from him, and Marks has really got to make a big adjustment.
Can't get Marks to chase, but don't mind the idea from Purcell to try to get him to expand the zone after he looked a little bit lost at the plate in that last pitch. Counts 1-2. Bucs leading it 2-0. This one's hit out to right field. Andrew Lamb is under it, and he has it for the second out.
Huge. Great job, and Purcell wasting that last pitch before, but he's such a good pitcher, and he's able to stay ahead in counts that he could waste 2 more pitches after that, get a full count pitch, and still strike the batter out. That's just how good of a pitcher he's done, but right there, manufacturing outs in multitudes of ways.
Last man for the Pilots is Luke Hefner Jr. Brody Purcell trying to finish off something special for the Bucs here, and he's ahead with a swing and miss from Hefner.
There you go, just pound the zone. Last batter, the 27th out. Just don't try to tiptoe around him.
2 runs on 6 hits for the Bucs so far. No runs for the Pilots. Bucs dugout wanted that one.
Just missed. Great pitch by Purcell.
1-1 to the Pilots shortstop. Everybody here hoping he's the last man at the plate in this ballgame. 1-1 spiked.
Like I said, it's okay. Purcell has looked good all year. He gets behind 2-1, no big deal. Wasting a couple of pitches, but like I said, most important thing for Purcell facing this 2-hole batter and Luke Hefner, just keep attacking the zone. Make them earn it.
2 balls and 1 strike to Luke Hefner Jr. It was Cole Carlone for 5 innings, Rylan Hyder for 2 innings, Jeremiah Arnett for 1 inning, and now Purcell out there, and he misses, so it's 3-1 to Hefner. Do not want to bring the tying run to the plate.
No, got to push one across here. Anywhere in the zone.
Loses him. 5-pitch walk brings that tying run to the plate in the form of Luke Stolga.
Yeah, and like we said, it's only a 2-run lead, so big hit from Stolga here. The Bucs could really be in trouble, and just how quickly the tides could turn.
Could go from focusing on something to worrying about keeping your lead in this ball game pretty quickly. First pitch to Stolga. Ground ball on the left side. Josh Hankins gloves it. A couple of steps to throw to first. It's a combined no-hitter for the Anchorage Bucs. For the second time this season, first time in ABL play, first time in 9 innings, the Bucs hold their opponents scoreless. Cole Carlone, 5 innings. Rylan Hyder, 2 innings. Jeremiah Arnett, 1 inning. And now Brody Purcell with an inning of no-hit ball as the Bucs take care of the Pilots in dominant fashion. 2-0.
What a game, Will. We've seen good pitching. We've seen good hitting all season from the Bucs. We got a little taste of what a combined no-hitter is like in just 7 innings. But today, this one goes on the record book, Will, a 9-inning combined no-hitter. And that just goes to show you why this team is number 1 on the standings and why they could be for a long time in this summer.
And I can promise you there's no other team in this league they would have rather done it against than the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. No runs on no hits and 2 errors for the Pilots. 2 runs on 6 hits and no errors for the Bucs. And obviously, the thing to talk about at the end of this game is just the entire staff that went out there for the Bucs. Just incredible stuff from, I'd say, the second batter of the game after Carlone lost marks on 4 pitches through the last batter of the game. And Carlone, 5 innings, obviously no hits, 9 strikeouts, a couple of walks. Then the Bucs handed it to Rylan Hyder, 2 innings, 2 strikeouts, obviously no hits, no walks from him. Arnett pitched the 8th. He worked with 1 strikeout and no walks, and then Brody Purcell gave up a walk in the 9th, but that was it. Had a strikeout, and then that last out, a ground ball to Josh Hankins. Got to be a nervous throw over to Ryan Callahan, but the Bucs get the job done.
Wow, it's just amazing. I see the cameraman out there waiting for a photo, and that is just a great sight to see. Carlone came in. He just absolutely shoved. That fastball was electric. You knew it was going to be a different outing when he started really pumping that fastball there in the second inning. You could see it had life to it. You could see that it had a couple more MPH on that, miles per hour. And Rylan Hyder coming in there, he's always been nails. He's just so sharp, and that slider moves so much horizontally, and it's just got that crazy break to it. He does such a good job of working it into the plate, off the plate, and then Jeremiah Arnett, who's just been solid this whole season too. And then finally, Brody Purcell, one of the best guys to have out late in the games, and just a great sight. And it's awesome seeing these guys so happy, and something that, such a well job that they did.
And my concern started to be that these pitchers might have to go more than 9 innings without giving up a hit, but luckily in the 7th, the Bucs able to scratch across a couple of runs, and that was a real concern for me. How about Max Ross and Andrew Lamb coming off the bench? Ross able to lay one down, and then Lamb with an RBI single for the first run and scoring on the second run.
Just absolutely huge, and it had to go off to the coaching staff for trusting these guys coming off the bench. And of course, they might have played a couple of days ago, but you're still cold coming off the bench. And yes, you had batting practice, but like I said, you're not playing in the game to start. You're not the starting guy going out there, and to be put into a game like that, and to have a nice sack bunt for Max Ross, and then Andrew Lamb with the RBI base hit, that is just absolutely huge, and that's exactly what you want to ask and receive from these players when you put them in the late game moments like that, Will.
So Sunday, June the 16th was an appetizer. That was the win against the Chinooks with a combined no-hitter. That day on the mound, it was Zan Rose, Garvey Rummery, Elijah Dew, and Mike Sarhat for 7 innings of no-hit ball. But the main course tonight tasted phenomenal. The Bucs win it 2-0 against the Pilots. Wednesday, July 3rd, 2024. No runs, no hits, and 2 errors for the Pilots. 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Bucs. A combined no-hitter from the Bucs here at Mulcahy Stadium. For Vic Masslia, I'm Will Hopkins. We'll see you next time.